Have you ever pondered about how to live a life untouched by the chaos of the world? This question leads us to the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy that thrived in the minds of ancient Greeks and Romans and continues to resonate with us today. Stoicism isn't just a set of abstract ideas, but a philosophy of life. It's a guide to living well, to dealing with the trials and tribulations that come our way, and to finding peace amidst the chaos. It's a philosophy of personal ethics and virtue, grounded in the wisdom of some of the greatest thinkers the world has ever known, like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. What makes Stoicism so compelling, even in the hustle and bustle of our modern world, is its pragmatic approach. It doesn't seek to provide a grand narrative of the universe, but rather focuses on the individual's place within it. Stoicism teaches us how to navigate life, how to respond to adversity, and most importantly, how to find tranquility in acceptance. At the core of Stoicism is the belief in the natural order of things. This isn't about blind acceptance or fatalism, but rather a profound understanding of the world and our place within it. It's about recognizing that there are things we can control and things we can't, and finding peace in that distinction. It's about aligning our will with the flow of nature, and in doing so, finding a sense of harmony and tranquility. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to the world around us. Quite the contrary, it's about understanding our emotions, our reactions, and our desires. It's about cultivating virtue, wisdom, and integrity, and using these as our compass in the tumultuous seas of life. In a world that often seems out of control, Stoicism offers us a beacon of tranquility. It invites us to step back, to observe, to understand, and ultimately to accept. It teaches us that the world isn't something to be conquered or controlled, but rather something to be understood and accepted. Stoicism suggests that the path to tranquility lies in understanding and accepting the natural order of life. What if I told you that you have the power to shape your response to the world around you? Yes, indeed, Stoicism, a philosophy that dates back to the 3rd century BC, posits this very idea. Centered on 4 guiding principles: wisdom, temperance, justice, and courage. Stoicism encourages us to live virtuous lives by distinguishing between the things we can control and those we can't. Let's delve into these principles. First, wisdom. In the Stoic context, wisdom is not about being a know-it-all or a trivia champion. Instead, it's about understanding the nature of things, grasping the difference between what we can and cannot control. It's about making sound judgments and choices based on this understanding. It's about recognizing that our reactions, our feelings, and our decisions are within our control. Next, we have temperance. This is not simply about abstaining from excessive eating or drinking. It's a broader concept that encourages moderation in all aspects of life. It's about balancing our desires and actions, avoiding extremes, and striving for a harmonious existence. It's about understanding that the pursuit of pleasure or avoidance of pain should not be our primary motivators. Justice, the 3rd principle, is about fairness and treating others with respect and kindness. It's about understanding our role in the larger community and acting in a way that contributes positively to it. It's about recognizing that our actions impact others, that we're part of an interconnected web, and that we should strive to do good, not just for ourselves, but for the greater good. Finally, courage. This isn't just about being brave in the face of physical danger, it's about moral courage, the strength to do what's right even when it's difficult. It's about standing up for what we believe in, even when it's unpopular. It's about accepting the reality of our situation, no matter how challenging, and confronting it with grace and resilience. These principles guide Stoics to live virtuous lives, reminding us of the importance of understanding the things we can control and those we can't. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, Stoicism offers a sense of calm and control. It reminds us that we can't control the weather, the traffic, or the actions of others, but we can control how we react to these things. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own actions, attitudes, and responses. It encourages us to embrace the present moment, to accept what is, and to respond with wisdom, temperance, justice, and courage. It reminds us that we have the power to shape our own experience of the world. Remember, in the Stoic philosophy, it's not the events that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance. So, next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember these principles. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? How can I respond with wisdom, temperance, justice, and courage? And remember, you have the power to shape your response to the world around you. But how does one gain control over their reactions and emotions in a world that is constantly changing? Stoicism, a philosophy that dates back to the 3rd century BCE, provides an answer to this quandary, offering a clear path to inner control and tranquility. It does so by teaching us to differentiate between what we can control and what we can't. Picture this. You're sailing on a vast ocean. The winds, the waves, the weather, these are all out of your control. But the direction in which you steer your ship, how you adapt to the changing winds, how you respond to the rising waves, these are all within your control. This is the essence of the Stoic practice of recognizing the difference between the controllable and the uncontrollable. This philosophy is further refined through the concept of preferred indifference and non-preferred indifference. These terms might sound a bit complex, but the idea is quite simple. Preferred indifference are things that we naturally desire, like health, wealth, and reputation. Non-preferred indifference are things we naturally tend to avoid, like sickness, poverty, and obscurity. But here's the catch. While these things may affect our lives, they don't have to determine our happiness or peace of mind. Because remember, they are indifference. They are not fundamentally good or bad, and they are not fully within our control. What we can control is how we respond to them, how we perceive them, whether we let them disturb our tranquility or not. This perspective, this understanding, is incredibly liberating. It allows us to navigate through the ups and downs of life with a sense of calm and composure. It helps us to maintain our inner peace, even when the world around us is in turmoil. In the end, it's about understanding that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Because ultimately, the only true power we have lies in our own minds, in our ability to choose, to react, to adapt. And that, in essence, is what Stoicism teaches us about control. So, how can Stoicism lead us to live in harmony with nature and ourselves? Well, the Stoic philosophy encourages us to understand and accept the natural order of things. It's not about giving in to fate or being passive, but rather about recognizing that there are certain things in life that we simply cannot control. This acceptance is the first step towards achieving harmony with nature. When we talk about nature in Stoicism, we're not just referring to trees, mountains, or rivers. We're talking about the nature of the universe, the nature of human beings, and the nature of reality itself. Stoics believe that everything in the universe operates according to a rational and predictable order. This is often referred to as the logos, or divine reason. By understanding and accepting this order, we can align our actions and thoughts with the flow of life, instead of resisting it. Now, let's bring this concept closer to home. Consider the nature of human beings. We are rational creatures, capable of making choices. However, we are also part of the natural world, and as such we are subject to its laws. Our bodies age, we experience pain and pleasure, and ultimately, we die. These are all part of the natural order of things. Stoicism teaches that by accepting these unavoidable truths, we can live in harmony with our own nature. We stop fighting against the inevitable and start focusing on what we can control: our actions, our responses, and our attitudes. Imagine the peace that comes from not worrying about things beyond your control. The tranquility that arises from knowing you have done your best, regardless of the outcome. That's the harmony Stoicism promotes. It's about finding contentment in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. So what does this mean for us? It means we can choose to live in accordance with nature, accepting its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. we can choose to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and equanimity, rather than with fear or frustration. Stoicism teaches us to embrace the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. So, what have we learned about Stoicism today? Our journey has taken us through the labyrinth of Stoic philosophy, where we discovered its core principles. We learned that Stoicism is built on a foundation of virtue, wisdom, courage, and moderation. It encourages us to focus on what we can control, to accept what we can't, and to discern the difference between the two. From there, we explored the Stoic perspective on control, a concept deeply rooted in the philosophy. It champions the idea that our happiness hinges on redirecting our energies towards the aspects of life within our grasp, while letting go of the uncontrollable ones. Finally, we delved into the Stoics' harmonious relationship with nature. This principle implores us to align our actions and thoughts with the natural order of the universe, promoting a life in sync with the world around us. Remember, Stoicism isn't about eliminating emotions, it's about achieving peace by understanding and accepting the world as it is.